like any good creative advertising marketer, in order to create content, you need to know your audience. You need to know what the task is. What's the role? What's the goal? What's the requirements? So this is the prompt. So act like a creative brand strategist who will look at your LinkedIn profile and derive character traits and stories to create a clever branding statement that is different and memorable.
When you use ChatGPT, it's kind of like a sandwich to where you start with, your concepts, your creativity, your thoughts, your ideas, and you put a prompt in there and you get a result back using ChatGPT. But on the backside, you most definitely need to keep it human. I would not post anything straight from ChatGPT or in these generative AIs unless that was the intention. I have used it creatively in some scripts, but I let everyone know that, hey, this robot or this cartoon or whatever I've created uses a complete script from ChatGPT.
So CB, you said that you use ChatGPT to accelerate your creation of our why, what, and how for the company.
It's Chris Broderick. So we have a new firm called Radical, and we're approaching employee experience in a really unique and different way, all around whole person experience. And so folks on the team come from a variety of different spaces and really great experience. And I don't know if any of you have gone through that process of trying to figure out and get everybody on the same page with what's our why, what, and how do you get that done in some time shorter than 2 days. So we all flew into Minneapolis and got together and put together a form, like a Google form, and said, okay, everybody, what's the why? Like, what is our why? And we all pounded in, and typed in what we thought our why was. And then we said to ChatGPT, like, here's all the input, and now summarize it for us. And so it summarized it. And it's like, this big behemoth thing of a book. And then we're like, all right, give us a paragraph. And then we're like, narrow it down to 2 sentences. And then we were like, make it edgier. And then, so in the end, we took that edgy version and then kind of fine-tuned it to fit us best. But the why took all of 17 minutes, right?
Heather Bennett has a question.
Sure. No, I'm just from the experience of using voice search and how you can train the voice response to be more polite or to have a different tonality based on your responses.
What I have read and what I've experienced, I've used please and thank you all the time. And I heard from one point of view, it's good to be nice, it's good to be polite, you're kind of training the AI. But I've also heard that they're just looking at it for content. Now, if you're trying to train it for tone of voice and you're trying to say, I'm a polite person, that's one thing. But if you're just doing chained prompts, you saying please and thank you, isn't really going to make that much difference.
I have a certain smile factor in how I write and the articles I write and alliteration and rhyming and all of that. Can I tell ChatGPT to add a smile factor?
You have to remember that those words that you put in your prompt are being converted to numbers. And those numbers are like shot out into vectors, into space in this model. And when you say act as an instructional designer or learning architect, you are tuning ChatGPT to increase the probability of words all related to instructional designer. And so, when Marty says, please or be polite, you're putting words in there that odds are there'll be words associated with politeness that's given back to you. And so I think that's, when you write your prompts, making sure that you're consistent with the way that you're naming things. And I know, especially in learning and development,